policies.
We also need to sharpen our teeth, and I don't mean the Commission, but the Eurogroup of finance ministers, the peer review process, to make it more rigorous and to use EU expenditure conditionally to ensure better compliance with the Stability and Growth Pact. If we are serious about respecting the rules which are solid rules in the pact, then we should have instruments to enforce these tools, and that's why we need this kind of incentives for compliance. Secondly, while the first building block concerns fiscal discipline, the second concerns broader macroeconomic imbalances. We need to go beyond sheer budgetary surveillance, broaden and deepen surveillance to address macroeconomic imbalances and divergences. The gap between the surplus and deficit countries in the euro area has widened in the past 10 years. And for instance, Greece lost around 1/4 or 25% of its cost competitiveness in relation to the average of the euro area. Of course, that is one of the root causes, one of the origins of why the financial crisis hit Greece so hard in the course of recent years. We propose to define indicators, scoreboard, alert thresholds, and to give recommendations and early warnings to the member states if found necessary in the peer review. Let me say to all my compatriots and others who are coming from, say, export-oriented countries, all the Germans, Dutch and many other countries of the European Union, that the aim is certainly not to weaken export performance of any surplus country. And the most pressing need is indeed to take corrective action in the deficit countries, as we have seen in the case of Greece and other countries suffering from serious fiscal deficits and current account deficits. Instead, the aim is to find the right balance to reinforce export competitiveness where needed and domestic demand where needed and possible. This is in order to balance fiscal consolidation and sustainable growth. This is for the sake of growth and jobs in Europe. In other words, I am not suggesting that Bayern München should play below its standard against Olympique Lyonnais, just to ensure an equal game. No way. That's not my concept of neither football nor economic policy. Rather, both Bayern München and Olympique Lyonnais should play better and improve both offense and defense, and thus play better as a European team, competitive at world level and strong domestically. That is the aim of this exercise. Finally, as the third building block, we are proposing a permanent and robust framework for crisis management for the euro area member states and for the European Union. Of course, we will have to draw the lessons of the recent experiences, both of the crisis and of the crisis resolution, implying that we will be building on the experiences of the Greek rescue package and of the temporary European stabilization mechanism decided last Sunday or Monday, so as to build the basis for a medium to long-term solution, a permanent crisis resolution mechanism for the euro area. Let me underline that, of course, the first and second building blocks are primary. They are the first and foremost elements of this package. because prevention is always better than crisis resolution. But at the same time, it is essential that we also prepare ourselves to the worst-case scenarios. It is essential to avoid moral hazard, and therefore this mechanism must be made so unattractive that no leader of any country is voluntarily tempted to resort to this system. Well, ask George Papandreou if he is voluntarily willing to resort to this kind of system in the current Greek case. I don't think so. As I said, better to be prepared also for the worst-case scenarios, and it is better to be safe than sorry. If you know that you may have a bushfire or a forest fire, it is much better that you have a fire brigade ready instead of starting to collect men and women to the fire brigade when the forest fire is already out there.
Необходимо к нему быть готовым заранее, а не во время пожара искать шланг.
So, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, after these reflections on the economic outlook of Europe and the need to reinforce economic governance in Europe, a final note on enlargement, which I used to do for 5 years, and now I'm doing in a smaller scale in the context of the euro area. We just presented the annual convergence reports of the countries who are not yet members of the euro area, those EU member states not yet members of the euro. And our conclusion is that there is one country, Estonia, that meets the convergence criteria of the European Economic and Monetary Union and has proven a long-standing commitment to fiscal sustainability. Therefore, the Commission proposes that Estonia can join the euro on the 1st of January next year, 2011. If somebody is disputing Estonia's meeting the criteria, I just want to point out that while the average level of public debt in the European Union is currently around 75%, soon around 80-85%, Estonia's public debt is 7.2%. So not 72%, but 7.2%. And I think that tells you everything about Estonia's ability to ensure the sustainability of public finances. Our proposal is a very strong signal also for the other countries of the European Union and for the future aspirants, candidate countries and potential candidates to the European Union. It confirms that sustained policy efforts and a long-standing record of stability-oriented policies brings concrete results, in this case, euro membership for Estonia, of course still subject to the endorsement of the Council of the European Union. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, to conclude, the Commission's proposals of last Wednesday, once adopted, will lead to a substantial deepening of economic governance in Europe and, in parallel, to a prudent widening of the euro area. And indeed, it is the high time to fill the E of the EMU with life, and that's what our proposals aim at doing. Thank you for your attention.
Денежный механизм, валютный механизм. Спасибо за внимание.